One of my favorite movies of all time is Boyz in the Hood. Let's talk about it.
It's called Boyz in the Hood. A vivid movie about life in South Central LA is about to hit theaters nationwide, and police are fearing the worst. Tomorrow, a new movie is set to open, Boyz in the Hood. It's about life and gangs in South Central LA. Good evening, everyone. I'm David Jackson.
And I'm Larry Carroll in for Pat Harvey. Here's what's happening in prime time. It's been announced tonight that some theaters that will show Boyz in the Hood this weekend plan to beef up security. That's to make sure the film does not touch off a rash of gang violence.
People here at this movie theater told me just a few minutes ago they have pulled the movie indefinitely. And as you can see on the marquee behind me here, it is Thelma and Louise that is playing right now. There is no mention anywhere in any advertising of Boyz in the Hood.
Boyz in the Hood came out in 1991. I was 13 years old. Los Angeles in 1991 was a rough place to live for civilians, for gangsters, all the above. I believe it would be the following year, 1992, where we would see upwards of 2,500 homicides that year. It was really, really crazy at that time. The blue team were fighting the red team, and the streets were on fire. Most of America didn't really know what was going on in Los Angeles until this movie, Boyz in the Hood, came out.
As it played, violence broke out in a half dozen cities across the country as rival gangs clashed inside and outside the theater.
Now, Boyz in the Hood obviously was named after a very popular Eazy-E song, right? The boys in the hood are always hard. We know it. Come talking the trash, we'll pull your card. Knowing nothing in life but to be legit. Don't quote me, boy, cause I ain't said. We all know the song. John Singleton. This was an amazing debut for director John Singleton. He initially developed this film as a requirement for his film school back in 1986. He ended up selling the script to Columbia Pictures when he graduated in 1990. And while he was writing this classic movie, he drew inspiration from his own life and from the lives of people he knew. Now, not only did he write this, he wanted to direct it. In his own words, he didn't want some dude from Boise, Idaho or Encino telling his story.
It was a revelation. I mean, people were just enjoying it. I remember when I was shooting in my neighborhood in Inglewood, in the area called the Bottoms, where I'm walking around on a set with all these people, and people are like, "What you doing here, man?" And I was like, I'm working on this. And they said, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm the director." "You the director? You the director?" I said, "Yeah, I'm the director." Yeah. I said, "What?" They like come out, everybody come. Look, John directed. He directed.
Production began, and the rest is history. Apparently, Ice Cube was always meant to be Doughboy.
Acting, felt like a fish out of water, but I caught on.
The Doughboy character was written for Ice Cube, according to John Singleton, who has since passed away. R.I.P. to John Singleton. Let's give a little moment of silence to John Singleton. Rest in peace.
John Singleton, he's a 22-year-old brother. This is his first movie. He just graduated out of USC. He does a movie about South Central Los Angeles. He's from South Central Los Angeles. So the story is very sincere, and it hits home. That's why I did it, and he worked with me a lot.
I'm going to go on and light up my J. I got my beer. Got a couple brewskis sitting on cold ice right now. And I'm going to talk about one of my favorite movies, man. I love doing this. I love talking and going in depth of my favorite movies. And Boyz in the Hood is right up there. I remember when the movie came out. I watched it on VHS. I wasn't able to watch it in the theaters, but I did watch it on VHS, and I had to watch that thing 100 times the year it came out. I did back then, and to this day, I still know that movie like the back of my hand. But it's a great movie. And it was a success. I mean, it made like $60 million, something along those lines. It has obviously since grossed way more, but back then $60 million was not too bad for a movie that especially cost, maybe a few million dollars to make. But this is also Ice Cube's acting debut.
I wanted to talk to Arsenio because I wanted him to have, Easy and NWA on. Here come John Singleton. Yo, you're Cube, huh? Yeah. What's up, man? Watch out. What's up? And he's like, yo, man, I'm a junior at USC, and you perfect for my movie.
And if you ask me, Cube did a great job. You would have thought that Ice Cube was a seasoned actor. Well, he kind of was, if you think about it, because he was portraying an image in NWA that was not really him. Ice Cube, and this is no knock on Ice Cube. I mean, the story's out there. Everybody knows this. But Ice Cube had a good upbringing. He had parents. He went to a nice school. By all accounts, he was a good kid. Then comes NWA, and he decided to change his image. So I guess he has always kind of been an actor. I would say the NWA years definitely set him up for his acting debut in Boyz in the Hood. He did a great job. I didn't really like Cuba Gooding Jr.'s acting in this. I thought Cuba Gooding Jr. was, for lack of better words, he was probably the worst actor in the movie. And it's so ironic because he ended up being one of the most famous actors out of the bunch, aside from Ice Cube. I mean, he went on to do Jerry Maguire. He did a bunch of serious movies. He did some comedies. But even if you watch Boyz in the Hood nowadays, you kind of see that. I don't know, in my opinion, Cuba Gooding Jr., the one who played Trey, I don't think he didn't really, his acting chops was kind of whack. He was the weakest link, if you ask me. Just my personal opinion.
I can learn if you teach me.
We should point out that most theaters around the country will be showing the film as scheduled tomorrow. They are not anticipating any problems. They say they're not adding any extra security. But this theater here, well, obviously they were a little bit worried. And once again, they have pulled the film indefinitely. Reporting live from Westwood, I'm Stan Wilson. Back to you.